Most High, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. Thank you. So, hello. Today, we finally reached the end of this NATO, Mexico, Sweden, France, Lydenburg connection. Okay. So we're looking into America's sinister plans. This is America's Classified Plans, Declassified Part 5F. So, today we're looking at Lydenburg. What does God want us to know about Lydenburg? Okay. Okay. So, what do you want us to know about Lydenburg? One thing I've got to say, better not trouble this man. My fears have gone astray. Oh, the body I have already paid. For the wrongs that I've done, I can truly say I arise the sun. On Judgment Day I'll be playing music for the rebels. Alright, Lydenburg. I'm hearing with this deck, we reveal to you who your friend is. Okay? So God sees a need to reveal to you who you should look to as alliances or an alliance. I don't know how many of them are going to come out. But before we get into these ones, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just pull that information for you first. So who are your alliances? Lydenburg. I heard you'd be surprised. But in this great shift, anything is possible. Friends are becoming enemies and enemies are becoming friends. And obviously this is information that God feels like it's okay to reveal publicly. So there's no need to worry. There's nothing that America can do about it. the list of people and with the list of countries willing to cooperate with America getting so small, they'll be less and less effective. In causing trouble. So they said the revolution will not be televised. It's kind of true. But it's damn sure being YouTubed. That was not a magic trick. I'm trying to blow away some of these particles that's making me itch, okay? And making me snotty. So, these weaponized lint lookalikes. So at the bottom of the deck we got St. Croix. Interesting. Let's see. You would know if that means anything to you guys. Okay, so we got St. Martin and the United Emirates. These are your friends, Lydenburg. Okay? You can depend on these. What should I call them? These entities. We got Nigeria at the bottom of the deck, followed by African Union. Alright, and I've been told to show you Haiti as well, coming in next as the underlying issue. So these are the entities that you can depend on in this season, because you know sometimes enemies turn into friends and friends turn into enemies. Okay, so when they switch, you switch. Now let's get into the main messages. Let's find out what God wants us to know. Hang on. Alright, Lydenburg. In order to make sense of how you fit into America's sinister plans, you'll need to watch all of the segments that pertain to your combination. Okay? And as you can see, there's several parts of this. There was a lot going on in this reading. NATO took up 5 hours, just about 5 hours of investigation. So Mexico, I think, took up 2, so that's already 7 hours worth of time invested, or that you need to invest if you want to understand the full picture. And then we got Sweden, France, and yourself were the underlying issue. So I'm guessing you guys, not guessing, you guys were basically the victims. roughly 10 hours of research. Between 10 to 12 hours of research done on this combination alone. Well, I should say not of research, of work done on this combination alone. Because I was being fought against with NATO and Mexico. They tried to not make the message come out. And God them allowed them to make an effort. Hey. When their efforts from afar failed while I was doing the Mexico reading, somebody actually astral projected to me right here. I smelt them to try and knock the cards over to mix them up. That was an interesting part of the reading. They quickly regretted it. Because there was a vital piece of information that I ended up refusing to give them. Okay, so Lydenburg, we got money problems as the subject of this part of your reading, okay? So we got don't rush, and I want to cheat when it comes to these money problems. But they came out kind of weird. Let's see. Okay, so they're in the reverse. So don't rush in the reverse means you should rush, and I want to cheat in the reverse means don't cheat. So God is basically saying get right onto whatever action plan you've come up with when it comes to the money issues that you guys are encountering, but do not cheat. There's no need for you to cheat in this situation. Okay? God is advising you against doing the wrong thing to get the money that you need right now. Integrity is your friend at this time. It'll be a lot more effective and a lot less costly than doing something corrupt. Don't do it. Okay? But do get right on it. Right? The underlying issue is I don't know how to love you. That's talking about how you go about getting this money. Probably you don't know any better. Now is the time that you start seeking the right way of going about things. Okay? It's in your best interest. I had to have bad influences. That's a lot of people's problems when dealing with America. Okay? They're corrupt, so obviously anybody and anything around them is gonna be corrupt as well. It's only natural. So you need to change your circle of friends, obviously, if you want to have better influences around you. Simple. Okay? So corruption is basically what you do. God is saying that's not the solution in this case. Don't do it. I am tired of that family member, aka America, whoever it is that's encouraging you to go the wrong way. It's time to let them go, because you're gonna have to suffer for it. Yeah, you don't treat me how I want. Okay? Moral problems. Therein lies the issue. So integrity is your friend right now, and you cannot rely on the people that you're used to for sound advice. So you're gonna have to seek that elsewhere. Family problems. So family could not just mean your blood relatives. Family is anybody that you hold close to you, or according to the cards in this deck, because I didn't make an associate card, family could be talking about business associates as well. Okay? We got, I really, really like you, but I don't like what you do for work. Okay, so this family part could actually be talking about your actual family. So they know what you do and they know how you do it, and they're not happy. Okay? They love you, but they don't like what you do for work, and they're getting sick and tired of you. So if you don't want to lose the relationship that you have with the closest people around you, whether they're blood relatives or not, it's time that you get your act together. I think peace is boring, so I cheated. So you like living on the edge, you like a little bit of danger, but really and truly you're confused. So you thought you like danger, you thought you like living on the edge, but it's actually quite hard. So we got consulting God. Yeah, you need some sound advice. That's the best place to start. You're consulting God about your cheating ways. Okay? Yeah. So you two want to make a change, and it is in your best interest for you to make a change. You need to walk away from corruption. Alright? It's time to build on solid ground. Because you not only risk getting in trouble with God, you also risk losing people near and dear to you. You don't like what you do for work, they don't like it either. It's just how you go about doing what you do. They want you to change, you want to change. So, and God want you to change. So it's time to start to take steps to make those changes, or else things will only get worse for you. Okay? So there's money, you got money problems, there's money out there for you, but you do not have to lie and cheat and steal. You do not have to commit any crimes to get it. Isn't that nice to know? So now it's for you to figure out the pathway to getting that money. Okay? Good luck. A prayer. Prayer is always the best starting point. Pray for guidance. Pray for courage. Pray for, what's that word? When you're dedication. Pray for dedication to the right. Okay. Ask God to help you guys not to stray. Not to get weak when things get hard. Things like that. Ask God to help you to remain faithful. Faithful in its abilities. Okay. We can't, but God can. Gosh. So annoying. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we got King of Cups. God seeing everything. It says restitution, finds stolen objects and discovers the person responsible. God said, don't cheat, okay? You won't get away with it, Lydenburg. Go about this the right way, okay? That's funny. It's so straightforward. God sees everything. That was it. God seeing everything. Yeah, don't cheat. You don't need to. And plus, if you cheat, your loved ones are gonna be. God's gonna be angry with you. You're gonna be angry with yourself, and your loved ones are gonna be angry with you. It's not worth it. If you've never done something with integrity ever in your life, this is the time to start. Okay, there's a lot to lose. Because life has taught, like, what's the point in having all this money and cars and houses and nice clothes and nice shoes and watches and ties and suits and hair well done and nails well done, and there's nobody to love you? Nobody cares about you, you know? So it's either you're gonna have the money or you're gonna have the love of your people and the money. But the catch is you have to go about it the right way. Something you're probably not used to doing. Good time to learn how. Because a lot of the sacrifices that we make, we do it so that we can put a smile on the people closest to us. On the faces of the people closest to us. But what happens when the people closest to us don't like how we go about it? So everything that we've managed to accumulate, they don't appreciate because of how it came about. It's a wasted effort. And your people don't like corruption, okay? It's bad karma. Because if you cheat to get this money, for example, and you buy one of your loved ones, let's say a house or something, they're gonna send you back the deed. They're gonna send you back the house. They don't want it. Are you gonna be offended then? You shouldn't. Because you know how they feel about ill-gotten gains. It doesn't last. Okay, so the card we have to come out is the Five of Wands. God listening in concealment. So God is hiding. God is hiding and listening. So don't tell yourself that God is not seeing and hearing everything. Okay, even your thoughts. Okay, so keep your thoughts pure too. It says politics and ambition wins judgments and protects all those who seek the truth. And all those who seek to go about things in a morally upright way. I added that part in because that's what God has been saying to you. So God wants you, not only am I seeing everything, I'm hearing everything. God listening in concealment. Okay? So don't think you can get away with going about this the wrong way. It will not work, Lydenburg. It will not work. Okay? Woo. Alright. So the underlying issue, we got God, the highest being. Desire to know. The acquisition of wisdom. God says, yo, I want to know how you're going to go about this, and just know I'm going to be watching you and I'm going to be listening. So you better do it right. This is funny. But listen, if this is new to you and you don't know how to do it, that's what you need to say to your God. Say to God, yo, you know I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to need you to tell me what to do, please. Okay? And I'm going to need you to really keep me on the straight and narrow because you already know me. Okay? I was made defective. Right? So I'm definitely going to need you to help me with this one. Right. Let's see what's the next card. It says, God, the hope of all the earth. Exactly. Like, God, I'm going to need you to help me. Okay? Because you know I don't know nothing about this. Okay? I'm not used to this side of the fence. It says ritual and ceremony can acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth. Yeah, so if you depend on God, God can bring you the money that you seek in the right way. Okay? And that's all that God wants for you and your people. And it's only to save yourself. Your family will be proud of you. Your friends will be proud of you. All those who support uprightness, they'll be very proud of you. And once you've done it this one time, you'll know and have the confidence that you can do it again and again and again and again. And instead of teaching your younger ones to go about politics, if they choose to get into politics or whatever they choose to get into, in a corruptive way, you'll be teaching them you'll be telling them you don't need to do that. You see, the problem with a lot of your generation is the people before you who taught you how to get things in life, they taught you the way of corruption. And now a lot of you guys are coming to realize that there's a price to pay. And the price is quite hefty. And it's not a price that you're willing to pay. So you're looking for different ways of interacting with life in general. You want to do things the right way, a better way where you don't have to suffer so much for your choices. You want to have a smoother ride, not only in the beginning but also in the end. Because when you choose corruption, it starts off smooth but then it ends horribly. Okay? When you choose to go about things the right way, a lot of the times it starts off rough but it ends nice and smooth, and your gains are long lasting. From generation to generation, there'll be blessings because of the positive choices that you made. Okay? So, you have nothing to lose and a lot to gain, and you've got God's help, you've got God's support, and you got the help and support of your loved ones. So, if you choose anything other than going about this the correct way, you're not a very intelligent person. You're not a lion or a lioness. You're a scaredy cat. So, your people are about to find out if you're a scaredy cat or if you're a child of the Lion of Judah, the King of all kings, the God of all gods, the politician of all politicians. Okay. Yeah, man, for a long time they've been telling us that we have to cheat to win. You don't. Losers cheat to win. People who see themselves, we got the barber card flipping out, like, cut it out. Yeah, man, losers cheat to win. It's not necessary. When you cheat to win, you lose twice. Did you know that? You lose twice because spiritually, you're already broken. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sickness. So that's a loss. And then, once you've acquired what you've gotten, later on you lose that too. So you lose twice. Your conscience isn't clear. Your karmic record is filthy. And you basically owe karmic debt, negative karmic debt, you know. It not only affects you, it affects those closest to you. It affects your closest friends, your family, because it's like, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Even when they're not like you, people are gonna judge them, and then that will cause problems between you and them because you're making them look bad. So maybe you lose more than twice. But they don't show us that part of choosing the path of corruption in it. You have to figure that shit out yourself once you're already in it. And you're like, oh, is that how that works? Yep. But corruption is standard, you know. So don't feel too bad about going that route. That's what they've been teaching every fucking body. Alright. Even regular people, even the man who works at the corner shop, they always this society. And as you can see, this society, I'm in England. So England and America, they're one. So when I say this society, I'm talking about, I think they call over here the West. The philosophies of these rulers of the West is one of corruption. That's how they live. They steal from people. They lie. They start trouble and blame somebody else. You know, they're selfish. Just list the bad things. That's what they are. So when you associate with them, that's all they can teach you, because that's how they do what they do. But it's not for everybody, and it's not even for them. So because you didn't have any other voice in your ear, you didn't know that you have a choice. You know, you thought that this was standard living. Corruption is standard living. That's because they made it that way, but it's actually not. You have a choice. But it's just that when you don't choose to be corrupted like them, they think you're a traitor. They'll automatically think that you think you're better than them, or they'll think that they can't trust you because then you're gonna tell and shit like that. When really and truly, some of the time we don't even give a fuck. Like, if that's how you choose to live your life like that. That don't have nothing to do with me. Okay, but I don't live like that. But they don't allow you to choose integrity in peace because of their own guilty conscience. They don't allow you to choose integrity in peace. It's a tough one. But with God, all things are possible. Because some things is not our business to tell, you know. But they don't see it that way. They live out of fear. And then that fear makes them do stupid things, like threaten you and your family, or manipulate your life, manipulate your money, manipulate your health to intimidate you into conforming to getting your hands dirty as well. That makes them feel better when everybody's hands are dirty. So it was a slim chance of people escaping doing corruptive things. So don't feel too bad about making those wrong turns in life. Now is your opportunity to start to make some right turns, okay? Let it go, let it go. A lot of us who get into a certain lifestyle didn't have a choice. I mean, like, didn't know any better. We didn't, because they have this society so imbalanced. All you see is the negative. When the positive comes about, they suppress it. So people hardly get to come into contact with positive things. They don't hear about the positives because we are hidden. They don't want you guys to hear about it. Because if you're not committing crimes, then they have no control over you. They can't take you to jail. Or they have to go through the whole trouble of creating a scenario that will look like you committed a crime. That's just long to them. They'll do it though. But if you're living healthy, if you're living good with your neighbors, if you're treating the people around you right, if you're doing positive things in your business, if you're paying your taxes and being an upright citizen, they have no power over you. So they have to get you to do something bad that they can hold over you. Not necessarily that they'll send you to jail, but they can use this information for blackmail. You see? Yeah. Well, all that is coming to an end slowly in these times. People are waking up to how the game actually goes and what is possible. Instead of there being one-way street, we're now seeing that there's actually two lanes. No, not one-way street. Instead of there being a single lane, which is the lane of corruption, we're coming to see that there are actually two lanes. Like, I have a choice. I remember when I woke up and realized that I had a choice as to how I live. I remember that day so clearly. It was like a light switch got flipped in my head, literally. Because as a young woman, I wasn't the cleanest, okay? I was one of them who had like dirty dishes in my room and stuff all over the bed, and not really any order when it comes to where I put my dirty clothes and my clean clothes, and typical young people. And then my daughter's dad, he came around me and he was talking to me about living differently. And when he started talking to me about it, it's like something switched. So it's like there was a little piece of me that always wanted to have control over my life and do things better. But that voice wasn't loud enough to give me the motivation that I needed to do, to make it happen. But when he spoke to me, it was like switch. And from then I was a different person. Just like that. But I became a firecracker. So it's like I learned that I have the power to make life into what I wanted it to be, but I hadn't learned the lesson that I'm not allowed to try to make other people be what I think they should be. So I was overstepping my boundaries because there was nobody to teach me. He just opened my eyes, I saw what I saw, and off I went. But life itself eventually taught me, like, there's a balance, there's a borderline. We are only in control of ourselves. So it's like I wanted to make the whole world better, starting with the people in my house. Luckily, I didn't take it out into the streets. But I learned quickly that I needed to control my desire for other people's betterment. They were good intentions, but if your people aren't ready to make these positive changes, you'll only be seen as a nuisance. You will only be driving them further away from you and creating problems where there needn't be any. So I didn't learn the lesson of tolerance. Live and let live. But yeah, there comes a point in our life where it becomes clear to us that there are actually two lanes on the road of life, not just one. You could choose to be this or that. And all it takes is a slight shift in your thinking and the acts that you choose to give life. A slight shift in your thinking followed by acts. You give life to those thoughts. So if you're going to think it and you're not going to act upon it, it's going to be fruitless. Saying all that to say, there's a choice. There are 2 lanes. But most people, unfortunately, are not blessed with the opportunity to acknowledge that there's actually power in integrity. There's power in being good. There's power in doing the right thing. Righteousness is sold to us as weakness in this society, unfortunately. Goodness is sold to us as weakness in this society, unfortunately. So it's for us to see our way out of the maze. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Amen. Everything starts with the mind. If your programming is corrupted, there's no hope for your life. Your life changes when you change your programming. You need to think different and make different choices. You change the outcome of your life. Have no fear for what I'm looking at you, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the rule. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? The soul I ever had, redemption of souls. Alright, so at the bottom of the deck, we've got nurse. So a nurse is a carer. A nurse is a healer. Okay. So let's see where God is going with this. Okay. So we got a female comedian. At the bottom of the deck, we got president. So a nurse, a female comedian. Okay, let's read on. President, estate agent. So an estate agent is somebody who has control over, in the sense of estate, it would be properties. But if it's a political reading, it's somebody who has the power over, I don't know, different states, different areas, power over something. Let's read on to see what's happening. Okay, so we got secret society male. And we got imam. A handyman. Shop attendant, somebody who looks after goods and or services. We got police. We got secretary. Civil servant. Music engineer. Secret agent. A rapper. I will make sense of all this once God is finished with putting cards out, okay? I just need to dig in as far as God wants me to go, and then we can go back over them to read what this underlying issue is trying to tell us, okay? Vice president. Model. Architect. Service engineer. If I need to clarify anything else, I'll do that as well. Janitor or cleaner. Dressmaker or tailor. As you can see, this is a deck that talks about different jobs, but you'll be surprised how God uses it to talk to me and deliver messages that has nothing to do with jobs. Okay, so just bear with us. Peacemaker. Prophet or prophetess. Security guard. Loctician. Teacher. Childminder. Earth angel. Okay. I think this part is talking about me. I'm running out of space here. Wait. We got domestic, doctor, comedian, male, counselor, beautician, delegate. Okay. Good God. God's got a lot to say about me. So we got actor, baby, male person, messenger, judge, scientist, princess, secret society female, foreign, footballer, US, pastor, salesperson, footballer, UK style. Good Lord. Okay, wait. I know this last part is saying to recognize me. Okay. Peacemaker, prophet, prophetess, security guard, lactation, teacher, childminder. Childminder is, God is kind of referring to you guys as children just because you're new to this way of life. I've been walking this walk for a very long time, so I am not, what do you call him? I'm not a novice to walking on this side of the fence, okay? You guys would be, so don't be offended by being considered children. It simply is trying to say that you're new at this, okay? Earth angel is what I am. But there's a part of the message up here. Anyway, thank you for all those accolades, Most High. So I'm basically a representative of the Most High. Okay, I'm the messenger. I'm here to bring you messages. God is the judge. Okay, I am here to teach, and I'm here to deliver messages to you guys as well. Okay, that's what that part was saying. I got that part. Now these players up here, this part is a bit more tricky. Let's see. So we're gonna put this on top here, making sure not to mix them up just in case I need to reference them again. Sorry. Okay. I'm a loctician by profession, in case you were wondering what that's about. It's somebody who look after dreadlocks. So God was basically identifying me and letting you know that I am who I say I am, and I should be taken seriously. Although it's not a forced thing, you're quite free to not take me seriously and let life show you that you should have. Okay. It's no force and no compel. Because at the end of the day, we believe in everybody tapping into their own strength, their own wisdom, and you should only do things when you are ready. Okay? So, your life is your own. We're just here to bring you messages. Okay? We're here to make light or bring light to your situation. What you choose to do with the information is entirely up to you, always. Okay? Let me blow my nose. Yeah, I can go off screen and clean my nose, but if I have to suffer for the people can suffer with me. The only reason why I have this is because I do what I do. This is punishment from America and their friends. Okay? Caused by these little particles that fall every fucking where in the house that I have to be hoovering on a regular basis. I can't even wear clothes without having to hoover my clothes first and use a lint roller brush to take off the excess, or else I'll be sneezing like a mad person. I'll be having mucus forming in my body like a defective product. Okay? So, yeah. So, yeah, we suffer together. Small price for you to pay. Alright, so let's get into this now. So, wait. Let me put them out one by one. Excuse me. Okay, so we might look close at this female comedian. I don't know what that's talking about or who that's talking about. The underlying was nurse. So I'm getting from that not taking things too seriously. And female energy is not a warring energy. Female energy is a peaceful energy, or feminine energies is our peaceful side. Men and women have feminine and masculine energies within them, if you didn't know. Feminine energy is that nurturing side, it's that I forgive you side, it's that peaceful side, you know, like a nurse would do. Okay? So I'm getting like not to take things too seriously. So president. So this is probably talking to the president. Okay? Estate agent. So the estate agent oversees properties. Okay? So the president is the overseer, or supposed to be. You know how your power dynamics is set up. Let's read on. A secret society male. Imam. Handyman. So there's somebody posing as an imam, or somebody posing as a man of righteousness. It's a man. Hang on, my lips are dry. So the president is to oversee this secret society male that's acting like an imam, but really and truly he's there as a handyman. Okay? A shop attendant, meaning that he's there as kind of like a spy. Okay, so this person is acting like he's a man of God, but all he actually is, he's a saboteur. Okay? He's a shop attendant. He's there to make things happen in your country. Going around like he's a man of God, but he's up to no good. He's a male from the secret society. Okay? Okay. So we got police, secretary, civil servant, music engineer. So what does a music engineer do? A music engineer basically constructs the beats, or they arrange the music, things like that. So shop attendant, police. Put this up here. So yeah, so this imam type person is here, well, in your country or around you in whatever way, to police you guys and make sure that you do whatever it is that they want you guys to do. Okay? And I'm feeling and hearing yes with that part, so we got that part sorted. So the president needs to pay attention. So there's a plant. Well, at least God is telling us of one plant. There could be more, but God is telling us of one plant, and he is acting like a holy man. It's a him. Okay? But God is saying, don't take it so seriously. Okay? So the information that's being revealed here, don't take it so seriously, because they're not going to be successful with whatever it is that they're trying to do. Okay? They're wasting their time. They just don't know that yet. So it's for you to hold the faith and keep going forward. Right? So yeah, so now we have a secretary, civil servant, music engineer. Let's read on. Secret agent. Yeah, there's another one. So that now that's two plants. So this secretary person is basically manipulating things. Music engineer. Okay, let's continue. So secret agent, rapper, with the things that they say. Okay, then we got vice president, model. Okay, so they're trying to encourage the vice president or whoever is in the vice president position, whatever you call that in your country, because in some countries they don't have presidents, they have like prime ministers and stuff. I don't know how things are set up in Lydenburg, but this fit the pieces how they fit according to your structure or the hierarchy, however you have your thing set up, whatever you call your positions and stuff like that. Yeah. So this secretary is actually a secret agent, and they're talking to the vice president. That belongs with that. This is one full sentence. Because they're basically trying to shape the vice president into the type of person, I guess, that they can use. Architect, model, architect, to build their service. So they're trying to use the vice president to do their handiwork. They're trying to make the vice president into they're trying to get the vice president to work against you guys. Okay, so the president needs to pay attention to all this, and the fact that it's coming out plain like this, God don't care, so you shouldn't care either. God said don't even take them seriously, but I just want you to see what's happening. Right? So they're trying to use the vice president. All right, so we got janitor, cleaner. That's a new sentence. So now I could push these away. The janitor. So the janitor is quite clear. Dressmaker or tailor. So the janitor is a cleaner. It says dressmaker or tailor. What does a dressmaker or tailor do? They construct things. So that's kind of like the architect. So they're making something and something else is being made down here. Okay. So there's a janitor energy who is here to make peace. Peacemaker. Prophet or prophetess. Okay, so this is where God starts talking about me. So, right. So I'm the janitor person who has come to create peace. Okay? Security guard. So yeah. So this part went into God talking about me. Okay, y'all want me to go through. Okay, so we got security guard, loctician. That's my job. That's my professional title. That's my primary source of income. Okay, dealing with dreadlocks. But God is saying that I've come to help clean up this mess, right? Teacher, childminder. So I'm a teacher to you guys who are new to this. I'm basically showing you guys what you're not seeing behind the scenes, right? Earth angel. Okay, sentence finish. So we got domestic need space. Domestic doctor. Is there a doctor in the house? Yes, you rang. A comedian male. Yeah, so that would be me. So that's me in my masculine energy. Because you see me doing these readings, this is actually a war you're looking at. I'm in a battle with America too. So me doing this is in an effort to slap them in the fucking face. Okay? So yeah. So that would be me still. Domestic doctor, comedian, male. I'm in my masculine energy. And I'm a counselor. I'm counseling you guys. Beautifully, by the way, beautician. So it's because I don't really, it's not that I don't take it seriously, but I don't allow it to get me down or weigh me down. Okay? It's a serious thing, all these problems that we're having in the world, but you still have the choice to be happy even in the midst of the madness. And I choose to be happy. Okay? Because if I don't, and I wait until everything is sorted to be happy, I'll be waiting for a very long time. And I'm not doing that. Because when you're sad, your face changes shape and you're not your most beautiful self. When you're happy, at least you keep a nice shape. And when you walk by the mirror, even when your whole world is falling apart, at least you're going to say, I look kind of good still, you know? Yeah. So the parts of our life that we could keep up, let's work on keeping them up. Okay? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference, right? Yeah. So I'm here cleaning up the mess, and I'm doing it in a light-hearted way. It's a serious fight, but I'm doing it in a light-hearted way, right? And I'm a delegate. I'm basically God's delegate. That's what that was saying. So I'm doing it beautifully, and I'm a delegate. I'm acting on behalf of. I'm the baby. I'm new at this. I'm a baby male person. So I'm a new messenger, okay, for the judge, which is God Almighty. Okay? Right. And we got scientist and princess. I'm not sure what that's saying. But you get the point. Scientist, princess. Could be talking about me. But then they start talking about secret. Oh, okay. Secret society female. There's my enemy. There's that boss bitch that's turning everything upside down. Or trying to turn everything upside down for yourselves and myself. Okay? This foreign woman. Fucking. You know when something go into your body that don't belong. A fucking foreign entity. She's the oddball out here. Okay? There's nothing wrong with us. There's something wrong with that bitch. I tell you that. Yeah. She be tackling shit. Or I'm tackling her. Football US. You know how they do with the US football? Yeah, this is me tackling her. So this is the war I've been talking about. So this is I'm the scientist princess who's tackling this stupid secret society bitch. Yeah. I'm the pastor. And I'm selling salesperson a kick-ass UK style football. And I'm in charge. I have the right to. I have divine authority to do so. I'm the CEO under God. Yeah. Look, under God. I'm the shopkeeper. I'm the CEO under the hairdresser. That would be me. So yes, this ass kicking that she's getting, I have been authorized to do so. Okay? So I don't give a fuck how she or anybody else feel. I don't care how they retaliate. I've done what I had to do. Okay? And I know this is going to hurt them a lot more than it's going to hurt me. Yeah? So hashtag winning. Right here. So all it takes is to slow down, you know. because this deck is quite complicated, but I've been training with it for a while, so we're good to go. All right, so we got 2 more decks to bring you your messages from. Who would believe it's a woman that's at the top of all this madness? Could you believe that? You better believe that. It's a female. And then there's all this talk going around about why men, the world is in shambles because men are the one who are we're in a patriarch. Wait, let me say the word. Wait. We are in a patriarchal society. Is that how you say patriarch? Wait. Google. Let me ask Google. Patriarchal, relating to or denoting a system of society or government controlled by, okay, so patriarchal. So we're in a patriarchal society, and that's the reason why we have so many wars. When the truth of the bumbleclad matter is, there's a stupid bitch behind all these people pulling the bumbleclad strings. Woman, you're making us look bad. We are the mothers. We are the healers. We are the nurturers. Eh? And you got society blaming men for the fucked up way that the world is when it's actually a woman that's doing all this shit. You're a disgrace to the sisterhood. You are. I guess that's why God is using a woman to kick your bumbleclad ass. So me being put in this position is not a mistake. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. All this because of your ego. Your desire to control. So your husband wear the skirts in the house then. You wear the pants in the house. Your husband wear the skirt. I see. Okay, Lydenburg, let's get your next message. So yeah, God says don't take these idiots too serious, yeah? They're only trying. And they can only accomplish what God allow them to. Okay? I say that all the time because life has taught me that's how it works. See, God put me in the line of fire with these people so I can learn how they move so that I can then come teach you guys. Okay? So being their victim for so long, I learned a lot. So I have a lot to share. So that makes me the elder in this situation. Okay? No disrespect to your age or anything like that, but I have more experience being on this side of the fence than you do. So now you're kind of being ushered onto this side of the fence. God want you to give you a little heads up about how to manage. First of all, you cannot take them seriously because they only talk a good game. And if you watch France's reading and who was it, Mexico's reading, was it France? God had a few choice words to call America, okay, and show you that they're nothing to fear. They only You know, that like the Facebook memes where somebody would have like their fingers doing something, like let's say they're making a dragon and casting a shadow on the wall. They show themselves as a shadow on the wall, but really and truly it's just a puny tiny little thing that's causing that massive shadow. Okay, they are nothing to fear. And especially the fact that so many of their alliances no longer want to be alliances with them, they every day they become less and less powerful. They have no help. It's only because they had so much help why they were able to seem so powerful. But me, God always made me know from the beginning, fooey, trash, shut up. Yeah, there's nothing to fear. God is mightier, always. Yeah. Look at the car that wanted to show itself. Yeah, it's the same black bitch that's kicking your ass, you stupid. What should I call you? You colored person. Yeah, you're the colored people. Yeah, you call us colored, but really and truly, you go pink when you blush, you go black and blue when you get beat up, you go white when you're dead, and you call us colored. Remember that poem? You disgrace to the sisterhood worldwide. None of us look up to you. We don't want to be like you. You're nothing to look up to, madam. You're a virus. You know what people do with viruses? You are a cancer. And so strange, your reading come out under cancer. You're a fucking cancer. And you know what people do with cancer, right? That's the right sign to put your reading in. Cancer. That's exactly what you are, woman. You're a cancer to society. And there's only one thing to do with cancers. I remember when this fight first started, it was me and your husband that were at it. Secret society boss lady, I'm talking to you. It was your husband and me. And all of a sudden this fight became between me and you. So what, you think that you're more smarter than your husband? Eh? What make you think that your husband can't conquer me, but you can conquer me? What about this scenario gave you the impression that you would have more success than he? And how has that worked out for you so far? Loser. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. With great power comes great responsibility. We're not looking for any excuses from you. With great power comes great responsibility. You victimize me, and for what? For years. And for what? What's my crime? And you call yourselves the Illuminati. Illuminated ones know not to test God the way you do. Real illuminated beings know not to test God the way you do. Real illuminated beings know not to touch God's anointed, nor do God's prophets or prophetesses any harm the way you do. That's why I say you people are fake. You call yourself Illuminati because you like big titles. Y'all don't know fuck all. Y'all don't have no gifts to do nothing. Y'all don't have no connections in the spirit realms. Y'all practice dark magic. That's what you do. And call yourself illuminated beings. What nonsense. I am the illuminated being. I am the Illuminati. You've tainted the name. Freemasons, you took that and you desecrated the title. The Illuminati, you took that, you desecrate that. Everything that is holy, you take it and you desecrate it. You turn it into something that's vile. Hey. These hand gestures that they call Illuminati hand gestures, I find myself doing them naturally. So if people were to see me doing these things, they'd think that I'm part of your stupid, dirty failure of a secret society. Nah, bitch. You are imitators of what I am. Because I don't try to do these things. I notice myself doing them naturally for healing purposes, for meditative purposes. So you take everything of ours and you sell it to the world as though it's something bad, while still wanting to be looked upon as a good person. I need to add confused to that list. So you have come to kill, steal, destroy, lie, control, confuse. Your list keep getting longer and longer. The Bible forgot to mention all those parts. They say that the devil has come to kill, steal, and destroy. But they forgot to tell us about how you have come to control, to lie, and now I'm discovering confuse. We need to write over the Bible or write a new one or something. Because we need to let our future generations know what to look out for. Yeah, we need to put all these things in writing. pretty sure there are qualities of yours that I'm missing that I need to add to that list, and as I find them, I will add them. You're the devil's representatives. That's what you are. So you're the devil's representatives using God's name. You're the devil's representatives using the name that God would use to describe its representatives. It's clever. If you're an evil person and that's what you like, it's a clever move. I give you that. I give you an A for that part. Whoever came up with that, good job. Let you get no cigar. I am what you claim to be by birth, and that's why you can't stop me. That's why you can never win against me. That's why you can't conquer me. That's why I'm so supported. Because people know the real from the fake. As much as you try to deceive them. Jah will never give the power to a bald head. Time alone, oh, time will tell. You think you're in heaven, but you're living in hell. Think you're in heaven, but you're living in hell. Time alone, oh, time will tell. You think you're in heaven, but you're living in hell. Run, come, crucify the dread. Time alone, oh, time will tell. Think you're in a heaven, but you're living in hell. Jah will never give the power to a bald head. Run, come, crucify the dread. Time alone, oh, time will tell. You want to live in heaven and everybody else live in hell. How rude. The revolution will not be televised. It will be YouTubed. Who knew? So Lydenburg, Let's see what else does God want to tell you or tell us. Waka waka baby, oh yeah. That was at the bottom of the deck. Sibling rivalry. Yeah. You are my sister. I am your sister, secret society boss lady, whether you like it or not. I is your sister and I is going to beat your ass because as the elder, you're supposed to be smarter than I am. But clearly, your development has been stunted. Let's pull Lydenburg's message. Waka waka baby, oh yeah. You are my white sister. There is no other fool above you. And I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Yeah, forever true. Okay, so how do we collect here? Waka waka baby, oh yeah. Got this one. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we got culture. So that's the subject of this part of your message, Lydenburg. Let's see what God has to say about that. So, as it pertains to your culture, it is very destructive, God says, self-harm. So there are some aspects about your culture that is actually crippling to you guys. Okay? So you need to identify those. At the bottom of the deck, we got self-employment. So this could have to be with work ethics. Okay? Adultery and infidelity. So as it pertains to the culture of your work ethics, it's harming you, first of all. And it's all about how you choose to go about making money for yourself. And it's all about the cheating aspect of it. We got adultery or infidelity. So that could be talking about infringing on other people's finances, because this is a finance reading. Okay? Self-employment. So the molestation. So molestation is actually a crime that's committed against another person. Okay? So it's talking about stealing money, basically. How you go about getting money needs to change because it's harming you. Okay? We got listening about your culture. Okay? Physical fight. So that is representative of you changing it. And God says, have faith. Have faith in your supernatural abilities. If you go about it right, you will win. You've been doing it this way for so long that it feels like nothing else will work. You are confusing yourself. It's time to move. Move from that state of mind into this new one. This healing state of mind about how you go about getting money. You do not need to steal. You do not need to hurt anybody else. Get your morals in check. It's time to heal your morals. Okay? Yes, there were absent parents before, but God is here now through me. Okay? All they cared about was classism. They want you to look like you're better than everybody else. That's what they taught you guys, but they didn't teach you the right way about how to go about it. The favorite generational blessing, that's what you thought it was, but it was actually them being manipulative. Okay? No, look at this, just popped out. It's time for the cycle to end. Right? So, when it comes to self-employment, all the corruption, which is your culture, and something that is culture. Imagine. So God is calling this your culture. So that means it is so widely accepted. Like I said before, it's seen as standard. It's like if you're not doing the wrong thing, you will not be successful. That's how they taught us to think. It is so widely accepted, it's just the norm. So somebody like me going to your country, oh, somebody would deal with me like that, and I would complain, and people would look at me like, you're new here, aren't you? And I'd be like, yeah. But this reading, hopefully I remember what I've learned, is revealing to me that, yeah, that's the norm there. You rob Peter to pay Paul, and you rob Paul to pay Paul, and you rob Peter to pay Peter, and you just rob Peter and keep the money, and you rob Paul and you keep that money too, and you just rob and you rob and you rob and you rob. You steal and you steal and you lie and you manipulate. And yeah, that's just how we live. That's crazy. But you'd be surprised. That's the norm in many places. There's nothing unique there. It's just me. It's not the norm in my kingdom. That's my internal kingdom, by the way. Okay? I had to learn the hard way that that's how society is set. Imagine they'll talk about these big name brands. They get their products or their bags, their shoes, stuff like that made for little to nothing. Let's say it costs them, say, £15 to make one of their bags. I'm not gonna call any names of any name brands, but let's say one of their products cost them £15. They'll go and sell that product for 2,000, 3,000 pound. So imagine what kind of profit. And then the people who create these things, they give them little to nothing. Well, there's something wrong with that. The person at the top of that corporation, they're thinking, this is great. We're saving us so much on overheads. But they're not thinking about the people that they're basically robbing from. But then are they robbing from these people if they do it willingly at the prices or the salaries that they offer to pay them? I don't know. If they agree to the salary, I don't think it's robbery. But if they're being forced into it, then that's a different case. The courts will see that differently. The divine courts I'm talking. I don't talk about these courts of the land, because y'all need to get your shit together everywhere. But in the divine courts, yeah, if you agree to it, if these workers agree to it, then the head of these corporations, they have nothing to worry about. But if they're forcing these people to work for this stupid money, and then they take the product and they sell the product for, let's see, 100 times, that's more than 100 times, that's like 500 times more. 500 times the production cost. I mean, it's good business, but it's how you go about it, you know, that makes the difference as to what your karmic record will record. So this is the last deck to bring you messages from Lydenburg. Let's see what God wants to tell you. So what I've discovered in these readings, which is kind of comforting to me in a weird way, is that a lot of these corrupted politicians were only behaving like that because that's all that they knew. I thought y'all were doing it because you wanted to, because that's just what you choose to do. I didn't know, like, you were kind of coached into doing so and kind of bribed into doing it like that. And I thought that y'all were on board with the shenanigans, man. I didn't realize that it's these false teachings, these corrupted teachings that put y'all on that trajectory in the first place. I misjudged you guys. This is reshaping my thinking about politics, because I know, like, anybody who wants to get in, well, in most cases, anybody who wants to get into any field of business whatsoever, they do so because they have a passion for it. They have a love for it, and it's like they feel like they can do a good job at doing so. But because the industry, the political industry, is already so corrupted, I thought that that's how you guys get like swayed differently. But it's like y'all went in there with a kind of corrupt mind from those before you. It's like this is just how the game goes, and this is what we do. Now the question is, those who came before you doing this thing, like, why didn't they come and tell you like what they experienced? Because if they make the same wrong turn, then they are bound to run into the same kind of problems that you run into. So the question is, why wouldn't an elder come and tell you, somebody who's been in the game for a long time, why wouldn't they come and tell you, well, just lay out on the table straightforward, like, it's gonna take a toll on your family, you know, the way how people see you, the way how you see yourself. Because a lot of people ask, how do politicians sleep well at night, you know? But it's like they thought they were doing the right thing, so they sleep quite well actually. Because once you believe something, it becomes a part of you, and up until you see the error of your ways, you just believe what you believe. So you think this is the game I'm playing, this is how it's played, and that's that. You didn't know that there was an option. But to choose the other option is to basically kind of mark yourself as opposition, even when you're on the same political party, because their underlying aims and objectives are not what they say out loud. That took a lot out of me. I hope I said that right. I have to think about you guys some more. Try and understand from your perspective, because yeah, it looked like I was misjudging some of you to a certain extent. I thought y'all wanted to be mean and wicked and vile, and I thought you were conscious of what you were doing, and that's the life that you chose. That's how I felt. Not realizing that you were taught the wrong things, and it's now you're coming to the realization that, hey, I don't like the outcome of this. Can I change it? Yes, you can. Okay? You can. God wants you to just do things the right way. Simple. That's how you change it. Don't let anybody stray you away from doing things the right way. Not with bribes, not with threats, not with anything. You're going this direction, and that's fucking that. If you don't like it, take it up with my God. That's what you said to them. See, they've taught us to think that that's a weak thing to say. Take it up with my God. They taught us to see that as weakness, but that has been my strength, and that is my testimony. I am living this. Take it up with my God. If you don't like what I'm doing, take it up with my God. And if you think that's a joke, try touch a button. So God can shock even me. Because I expect miracles. I'm that type of chick. Try something. If you want fire, bring smoke. Or if you want smoke, bring fire. See what you get. Yeah, if you want smoke, bring fire. Think you think that God is something to play with. God is nothing to play with. Not because God is silent or God seemed to be not there. You need to look again. You need to look carefully. God is everywhere, including within you. So how do you escape God? You can't. That's a trick question. You can't. Okay. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have an awakening, coming to consciousness. It's like, I see. Okay, so we got remembrance, the upright ancestors. Okay. Yeah. God said, nah, clear that shit out. Whatever they taught you, it's time to clear it out. Okay? Let it go, let it go. It's time for a rebirth, time for a remake. So you're now coming to an awakening that what you were taught were wrong, and it's time. This is the case for so many of you countries. I swear, so many of you political groups. Okay, so you're not alone. There's so many of you experiencing this right now. Y'all can gather together eventually and talk about your experience and probably learn a few tips from each other. Seriously. So it's time to clear out what you learned from those who taught you in the beginning and recreate yourself. Awakening. Yeah. It's time for a rebirth. Awakening to your abundance of basically choices, intention. Awaken to the abundance of ways that you can go. The summer card is my abundance card in this deck because, as you can see, Summertime is a time of harvest. Everything has come to full bloom. You know, it's the end of a cycle, and it's time for reaping, basically. Okay. So awakening to your abundance of choices. Where you want to set your intention. You have the power. Okay. You got grounding, protection. Yeah, it's time to ground yourself. That will be your protection from your shadow self, from this darkness that you've been living in for so long, making the wrong choices. Okay, being very masculine about everything, being very forceful, you know, like, I'm in charge here, give me that because I want it, and if you don't give me, I'm gonna take it from you. I'm gonna just plot and take it from you. It's time for balance. It's time to balance that energy, and this is only beginning, springtime. So we got imagination. So what you're thinking about should be healing. The healer. Okay? And that will contain, with the containment card, any death or any unexpected changes that you wouldn't like, or any stagnation. So any completions. So by focusing on healing, you will contain any completions or stagnations, incubation, and any loss. Winter card. Winter card is when the winter time is when all the leaves fall off the tree. Nothing can really grow in the ground like that. It's a time of lack. It's a time of barrenness. It's a time of, yeah, coldness. Okay, it's not fun. So we got responsibility, stability. Go about it the right way. Okay, it's your responsibility to go about your stability in the right way, because you have the power to do so. Power. You have the power to fulfill what you desire without having to dishonor yourself or anybody else. Okay? So, thank you all for watching and spending these long hours with me as usual. We're on a mission here. I got France and something to do tomorrow. Tomorrow we look at United Emirates and Russia. No, I said France. My brain was thinking Russia. So United Emirates and Russia. Okay? So that's what we're gonna start that combination, find out how these two relate to each other, what God wants us to know. Finally, I've been waiting to get to this Russia because I've been seeing a lot of, I would say, propaganda news reports, because I see them from like Sky, you know, the major corporations, the major news corporations, and we know who run that. So we know most of the things that come out there is fabricated so that they can control our thinking and therefore control our trajectory. Okay, once they control our thinking, they control our action, they control how we feel about, you know, I'm hearing about plane crashes, and I'm just intrigued. So let's see what's revealed tomorrow as it pertains to United Emirates and Russia. Okay, but Lydenburg, from the beginning of your message, God was saying about how who you can build alliances with. I don't know. I'm judging the situation. Let me slow down. Let me reel it back. Okay, let me take it back. We'll see. I'll wait and see because I'm just as clueless as you. So let's see tomorrow how United Emirates and I keep saying France. Why do I keep saying France? It's Russia. Interesting. Maybe that will reveal something. So let's see what's revealed to us tomorrow regarding United Emirates and Russia. See, France almost come out my mouth again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, bye bye.